The Asus Transformer Mini is a Microsoft Surface-like tablet computer. For the money, about $350 even though I got it for less, it's a great bargain. Where the Surface Pro will cost you over $800 for a tablet and a pen, you get the Asus tablet, an N-Trig pen which is similar to the Surface Pen, and a detachable keyboard in the box for half the price. Of course, for the money spent, you also make sacrifices. The processor is an Intel Atom quad-core X5Z8350 Cherry Trail processor. It comes with 4 gigs of RAM and the option for either 64 or 128 gigs of storage. Like other Windows tablets, there's a micro SD card slot to expand the storage, which is always a great option. The screen is 1280 by 800 pixels, and the tablet has a full-size USB port for connectivity and a smaller USB port for power. All in all, it's a nifty device, and it's exciting to have so much functionality in such a convenient and low-cost device. Unfortunately, it just wasn't suited for my purposes. Specifically, I was looking for a portable computer to be used for digital sketching and to do some light Photoshop work. I was surprised that when I installed applications like Photoshop, they did run remarkably well. The program opened fairly quickly, though not fast by any means, and drawing on an 8.5 by 11-inch document at 300 ppi using standard brushes was remarkably fluid. The program definitely slowed down once you chose certain dynamic brushes, the ones that look like paintbrushes when you choose them. Some of these worked well, while others slowed down drawing time significantly. I found the same to be true in other programs like ArtRage, where certain processor-intensive brushes like watercolor would crawl to a halt. This really wasn't acceptable for my purposes. This might be a good time to discuss the N-Trig pen and the built-in digitizer. The pen runs on a single AAA battery. With previous experience with this sort of pen, I find that the batteries last a very long time, perhaps up to a year depending on usage. One thing I didn't like about the pen was the hard tip. Writing with a pen is pretty smooth, but I found drawing with it to be a frustrating experience. The pen tip would catch on any fingerprints left on the screen from normal use. Cleaning the screen helped a bit, but I wasn't getting a consistent line. I finally stumbled on this little tip. Rather than cleaning the screen entirely of fingerprints and the oils left behind from your fingers, use a soft cloth or a chamois to wipe the screen down. Once I had done this, the pen worked remarkably well and I didn't have any problems with skipping. While overall tracking on the screen was very good, I discovered a strange glitch on my tablet. In Photoshop, whenever I would choose to add a layer using my pen, and this is on the right side of the screen, the cursor would slide up to the upper right corner of the screen and minimize the application. I got used to just using my finger for anything I needed to do on the extreme right border of the screen, but I soon figured this too was unacceptable. I don't know if this was just my unit that had this flaw, but it was one of the main reasons I decided to return the unit rather than keep it. One more thing about the tablet form factor. Like the Surface, the Asus Transformer Mini has a kickstand in the back to allow it to sit upright on a table while working. The kickstand worked very well, but I found using it tiresome after a while. I guess I'm used to opening a laptop and having it remain in position rather than using a kickstand, which means that you have to fumble around on the back to try and pry it open. On the plus side, other reviews complained about the keyboard and mouse. I honestly never had a problem with either of these. Once my system was set up and all the updates had been installed over the first 24 hours of use, both the keyboard and the mouse worked very well. So while this system could be very nice for a student or someone on the go who needs to work with Office, and a version of that does come free with the system, or with OneNote, it's really not an acceptable option for a digital artist. At the very least, using this system for a little while gave me a better appreciation for the Surface form factor and whether a device like this would be something that I'd like to use in the future. Thanks for watching, and I hope that this review has been helpful.